Welcome to the Adventures of J.R. Hendricks, Texan Consort. Today's episode, this first episode of two, is going to be called J.R. Could Do Anything for Love. Get ready, sit back your seatbelts, there's Jimmy. Narrates the adventure. October the 27th, 1993, 5 a.m. It's the middle of swimming practice, and Charlie approaches J.R. "What do you hear from Karen Crowder?" Charlie asked. "She went out with Brad last night," J.R. said. "I'll punch that dude out," Charlie said, getting out of the pool and grabbing his cane. "Whoa," J.R. said. "Now listen, they could be just friends. And lately Karen is being really flaky. It's only a matter of time when she gets tired of Brad and comes back to me." "Lovely," Charlie said sarcastically. "You mean me at Crockett House?" "No, I'm afraid not. I got breakfast with Ken and at the Spirit Club. And then a meeting with Lynette Wilson. Don't know what you ever saw in her," Charlie said. "Because she had class," J.R. said. "We broke up on good terms." 6:30 a.m. J.R. is joined by Ken and Jennifer Bowers for breakfast. Dr. Randy Wow, government and public affairs professor, was going to be talking about the infinite atonement of Jesus Christ. 7:40 a.m. Mary Jo takes Ken back to the condo, and Lynette Wilson, who dated both J.R. and Brad, drove him to school. "I dumped Brad because he does not know how to let go," Lynette said. "At least you had class." "This thing with Karen hurts," J.R. said. "I can imagine it does," she said. "But just know, we have your back." Government passed by, class passed by quickly. 9 a.m. J.R. and Charlie get dark chocolate bars from the Raider Express store. "J.R., hold up," Charlie said. "All I'm saying is give Karen a chance. She'll come around. She won't want to keep dating that ferret Brad," Charlie said. "Charlie, I told you. We're in cooling off period. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got Spanish class to study for." At the same time, in Crane, Jim brings in the safety inspectors to see how the rig would fit well, and it looks like it's all system goes for the rig to start drilling tomorrow. 2 p.m. J.R. is practicing in the Sidley pool alone. The Morning After by Duran Duran and Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. have been on the pool music playlist. J.R.'s mood is dour and sour. He learned he was not doing well in Spanish, and he seemed lost in statistics class when they talked about correlation. He hoped it would only be the amount of time until his father found out. 5 p.m. Back at the condo, J.R. and Ken have fried chicken for dinner. Now we will go on to
fried chicken. Watermelon.
October 28th.
buttered beans and collard greens.
Man, tell you this. Okay, here we go. All right. October 28th, 4 a.m. JR is waking up in his condo, and it's pelting down rain in Lubbock. The forecast was calling for a freak snowstorm to hit Lubbock overnight tonight. But by mid-Saturday morning, it would start to melt before the swim meet came. 5 a.m. JR is in swimming practice with Bill Holden. "So, you heard from Karen?" Bill asked. "Does every one of our conversations have to deal with Karen?" JR said. "I don't know how many times I've had to tell you that we are in the cooling off stage in our relationship. If we start dating again, it's going to be on friendly dates. That's it," Gerald said. "Besides, I think she's seeing Brad again." Brad? Brad is a bumbler. Why don't you dump him, man? Seriously. Everybody in my economics classes says that he's dressed all slicked back and gives girls dirty looks. Whatever, Gerald said, swimming off. 6:40 a.m. Back in Midland, Odessa, Jim gets in his truck with his toast and butter, along with a thermos of coffee. He starts the truck, and he's getting ready to go to the rig in Gardendale. 8 a.m. "Let's move," Dave said as JR's car pulls up in front of Gordon Hall. "Hey man, good to see you." Mary Jo pulls the car out from Gordon Hall, and it arrives at Gordon Hall. "Gentlemen, let's do this," Ken said, getting into the car. "JR, I had a chance to talk to Dave Smith, and we've been wondering about something." "Fire away," JR said. "Your dad. You don't have to be able. Why don't you talk about him, man? What's going on? How's he doing? How's he getting along with you?" Dave perked up. "Ken tells me he never had a close relationship with his dad. And me, my dad's busy in the oil industry in Big Spring. But yours is gone all over the country now. I mean, all over the country. Why don't you ever talk to him?" "Because he don't hardly ever call me. Most I hear from him is from his assistant, telling me not to take the internship with the Heritage Foundation. That he wants me to intern with my cousin Joe to be his speechwriter." "Don't be a jerk. You only got one dad," Ken says. "Maybe I am being a jerk. I'll call him this evening," Jared said. Mary Jo takes them to Cinnabon at Student Union for dinner. 8:30 p.m. Back in the car, they continued their conversation. "So what do you picture when you see JR?" Ken asked Dave. "I don't know. A son? History buff? Scholar?" Dave said. let's go deeper. Compared to Brad and Jim Bob Horton, JR is classy and has heart, Ken said. I could have gone the rest of the day without hearing that, JR said. No, I'm serious. JR, 6 years of dealing with snobs and dealing with jocks, and now you're moving up in the world. 1 p.m. JR and Ken had Taco Villa for lunch. Now they are listening to Rush Limbaugh, and the weather report has the storm. The storm is falling. It's pelting down rain, and the snow is coming. 4 p.m. Jim arrives home from Gardendale. A pelting rain has hit. Nevertheless, it has not been snowing like it is in Odessa. The 29th of October was nothing more than a big, huge pelting down snowstorm. School was canceled. JR had a big fight with Brad and Jim Bob over Ken. At 8:30 p.m., the blinding freak snowstorm has been going on all day. They were playing games and stuff, and now with the fight, things were looking bad. I never want to see Brad again. I swear, Ken said. I wish you guys could make up, JR said. Ken bristled. No, you know we ain't. He tried to play me tonight. And I don't play games with a barbarian. Now, I hope you enjoy this episode. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Become a part of this adventure. This is J.R. Hendrickson. Until next time, take care and hear the rest of the story.